Good evening and welcome to tonight's exciting varsity boys soccer match between the Dalton Catamounts and Southeast Woodfield County Raiders. Live, DaltonToday.com, coming to you from the heart of Dalton, Georgia at Harmon Field. Gabriel Schrei here. Appreciate you tuning in. Excited for all of the action between these two. Kickoff just moments away, scheduled for 7:30 Eastern. This match is set to be a thrilling encounter between two of Dalton's and Georgia's top soccer programs. The Dalton Catamounts, an impressive overall record, 12-4-1, ranked 42nd in the United States. They hold the 16th spot in the state of Georgia in the latest poll from MaxPreps.com. They've been a force to reckon with this season, netting a jaw-dropping 55 goals and conceding just 20. Showcasing a potent attack and robust defense, despite suffering a loss last time out against Baylor's Raiders, they saw a 6-game win streak snap. The Catamounts are eager to return to their winning ways after that, especially on their home turf. They've got a strong record here at Harmon Field, 6-2-1 on their home stadium. On the other side of the pitch, the Southeast Woodfield Raiders bring a commendable record of their own, 11-4-1. They're undefeated in region play this season, 5-0, and clinching first place in 4A Area 7. They stand at 130th nationally, 42nd in the state of Georgia. A lot of momentum coming into tonight's match. 34 goals, 21 against for the Raiders. Their performance on the road has been particularly noteworthy. 6-1 record went away from their home pitch. And a winning streak of 2 games. We'll get into that. They won a tournament up in the mountains in Tennessee. We'll get into what that was, how that shook out for them. That match set the stage for this eagerly awaited rematch from earlier this season between Dalton and the Raiders. A 3-0 victory for Dalton High's Catamounts last time out against Southeast Woodfield County. This rematch is crucial and pivotal. It's El Clásico on DaltonToday.com. The first half about to get started. Appreciate you tuning in and being with us and excited for all of the action. Before we get into it, just want to take a moment and recognize some people who make today possible. A special thanks to Super D Market and El Ranchero, our friends at Car Aid Auto Collision Center, and local Keller Williams realtor Luz Montoya. Thank you for your support and making today's broadcast on DaltonToday.com possible. Starting lineups about to be introduced. A little more about these two programs, as I mentioned, eagerly awaited. This is a big rematch for these two. They call it El Clásico here in the city of Dalton. It doesn't get bigger than this. Two of the finest soccer programs in the United States, two of the very finest in the state of Georgia, and their recent history is just unbelievable. I mean, the chart, you look at it, they've won state championship after state championship. Combined, these two programs have almost a dozen state championships just in the last decade alone. Really unbelievable performance for these two teams. Here they come together tonight. Crosstown rivals. Very, very good matchup between these two. As we gear up for kickoff, the implications of tonight's match extend beyond the local bragging rights. A victory here could be a significant momentum boost. These teams advance into the playoffs. This is the final regular season match for these two. We'll have it all on DaltonToday.com. That's a look at your Dalton Catamounts in the center of your screen there, huddled up. Matt Cheeves, the bench boss for Dalton. He's been with the program for a long time now, and his winning ways have extended since 1994 when he took the helm. In that time, he's won 87% of his matches as the head coach. 460 wins, 64 losses overall as a head coach. On the other side, the bench boss, Miguel Garcia. Two really great coaches, great leaders on the pitch, great guys off of the field as well to chat it up with. Really enjoyed my time with them before the match today. And Garcia took over this program just a couple of seasons ago. He's won 76% of his matches at the helm of this program for Southeast Woodfield. Southeast Woodfield 11-4-1. One loss on the road all season long, coming into tonight's match on a 2-game win streak. Dalton High's Catamounts 12-4-1. They lost last time out. It snapped a 6-game winning streak. They'll look to get back to their winning ways tonight at home against Southeast Woodfield County High's Raiders.
And now for starting lineups, first for the Raiders, the Southeast Woodfield.
We're going to meet the starting lineup of Southeast Whitfield. A big change for them.
Number 5, the junior Jonathan Garcia.
Brandon Munoz wearing the orange on the far right side of your screen. He's just a sophomore, going to get the start tonight in goal, replacing Victor Cordoba, who has had an unbelievable season. In fact, entering the tournament up in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, Cordoba had a record of 6 clean sheets in a row for Southeast Whitfield County. Really unbelievable performance. He sustained an injury. Coach told me this morning he wouldn't be available tonight. Victor, along with that back line for Southeast Whitfield County, a huge reason for the turnaround after an 0-4 start for this program. Munoz started and played the whole match that sealed the championship in the Smoky Mountain Cup for Southeast Whitfield County. So the sophomore was in good form on the road up in the mountains in the crosstown rivalry. He'll look to keep that performance up. Christian Sanchez getting the start between the post for Dalton High's Catamounts, wearing the fluorescent blue kit on the center left of your screen. He's number 1. A junior, he's had a great performance this season for Chiefs and the Catamounts. He'll look to keep that success up tonight and win El Clásico against the crosstown rivals. Lots of guys to watch on this roster that have been so successful. They just introduced the senior forward, Angel Salacius. Salacius, a significant contributor, a superstar scorer, one of the best in the state of Georgia, one of the best in the United States. 9 goals as a striker this season for Dalton High School. He'll look to add a 10th to cap the regular season tonight for Dalton High's Catamounts.
Romeo Chavarria. And number 27, a senior, Darwin Pinedo.
Pinedo rounding out the starting lineup for Dalton, midfielder, senior. An impressive 4 assists, but a whopping 4 goals to go along with that. 8 points this season for DHS. The leading scorer in tonight's match, Joseph Pina, a superstar scorer, one of the finest around, 13 goals as a striker this season for SWCHS. Coach mentioned the fact the team has 33 goals this year. 23 of those goals have come from the 3 leading scorers for Southeast Whitfield. The Raiders were without all 3 of them last time they played Dalton, so they'll look to flip the script with their starting lineup intact for the most part tonight on the road against the Big Red. One last look at the Big Red, who are taking a few moments to compose themselves before El Clásico is underway. Thanks for joining us. If you're just getting with us, this is as good as it gets in soccer in the state of Georgia. It's El Clásico, DaltonToday.com. I'm Gabriel Schrei. Thank you for being with us at Harmon Field. Southeast Whitfield 11-4-1. Dalton High's Catamounts 12-4-1 on the season. Dalton High 6 wins at home, just 2 losses. On the road this season, Southeast Whitfield 5-1. The only concern I can find for either program on paper that I would come into this match with in mind is the offensive production of Dalton High. The Catamounts, it's like a firework. Once the fuse is lit, they go off. They score goal after goal after goal. Being able to contain that offensive threat is going to be key to Southeast Whitfield tonight. If the Raiders can hold them off, keep them from scoring early, and keep them from getting that scoring explosion at some point during this match, they might be able to walk out of here with a win. The first outright win since 2012 if they can pull it off. Dalton will start this match with the ball, skying this down to the right side. Catamounts with it, battling it away. Down to the far touchline. This one stays on for DHS. Battle for it down near the far touchline. Big Red will take over. Two brothers on this roster. This is Edwin with a kick. The set piece skied down towards the edge of the goal box and deflected away by the Raiders. Gathered up a ways from the 18 and sent to the far side back near the midfield stripe. Dalton resetting to some degree before trying again. The long entry pass deflected away by Southeast Whitfield. Good play defensively. Delgado gets a heel onto the ball and sends it off of the pitch. DHS, long entry pass, headed away by Southeast Whitfield. Regathered by the Catamounts. Left off, close touchline. DHS trying to work their way down towards the 18. A nifty move, a pass into the close wing, a nutmeg down on the edge of the goal box, and the centering feed covered by the sophomore. His first big play tonight. And that's got to make him feel good. You're in Dalton, the crosstown rivalry. Big match tonight for Southeast Whitfield County and Dalton. Coming out, getting this start in such a big match and making an early save like that in a clutch situation, that's a confidence boost. Just 2 minutes into this one, scoreless in Dalton, Georgia from Harmon Field. El Clásico on DaltonToday.com as Southeast Whitfield County will take over with possession. Ball finds its way off the pitch right away. Dalton, the throw-in. Down into the far wing, battling with it. Catamounts can't keep this on. The throw-in, Dalton, long ball, and covered again by the sophomore. This time he just stoops and gathers that up. Brandon Munoz looking good early. Raiders need a big match out of him to win tonight. He's already faced a couple of clean, quality shots from the Catamounts. A little collision on the touchline. Garcia, an electric piece for the Raiders. 7 goals, 7 assists this season. A little too much contact for the official there. Dalton chips this, aerial up the field, and the Catamounts are able to keep it. Rattling down along the touchline, keeping it just inside the chalk. Southeast with a clear. Southeast Whitfield can't gather it up on the center circle. Dalton has it back. Quick move in traffic to get this away from the Raider. Ruben Gongora got this started, but now as a pass up the field for Dalton is off the mark, they'll maintain possession. Raiders last to touch the ball. A throw-in. Back to Gongora in the close wing. Looking inside, entry pass is deflected away and now cleared by the Raiders. Long feed down in front of the Dalton bench. Whitfield can't get it around the Catamount, and it's chipped back into the far side. Battle for it on the penalty arc. Dalton comes up with possession on the far side, just along the 18. Entry pass away from the goal box. This shot is deflected and cleared. Southeast Whitfield keeping it clean. Still scoreless 5 minutes into this match. Number 16 and number 42 in the state of Georgia. Dalton's Catamounts, one of the best programs in the U.S. They're in the top 50 in the entire nation on MaxPreps.com today. Big collision. Ball stays with the Raiders. Darwin Pinaido, the midfield senior. Too much contact for the official. Brian Delgado, the sophomore, throwing in for the Raiders. Long feed, looking for the header. Raiders have it. Through traffic, this escapes. Dalton working to clear the ball. Can't. Delgado, far side, trying to get hooked up with Lopez, and it escapes. Off of the pitch, Dalton takes back over. Southeast Whitfield County High coming off of a big weekend. Won the Klingman's Dome Division in the Smoky Mountain Cup. Regional High School Soccer Showcase held at Rocky Top Sports World. That's up in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, a few hours away from here. 54 teams from several states, including Tennessee, Georgia, Alabama, Oklahoma, all entering that event. Walking away champions, Southeast Whitfield County High. They looked great, in good form all weekend long. Raiders with a long throw-in. A good look by Garcia. Can't find a teammate as the Catamounts take advantage and clear this towards the center circle. Aerial collision, looking for the header. Nice work with the boots, and Gongora, a long outlet pass, no one to receive it. Gathered by the Raiders and touched back to the keeper. He's in trouble. Munoz gets some help on the 18. Dalton working this down towards the end line, fighting for possession, has help in the wing as he's double teamed, and gives it off to him. Centering feed, chipped down inside, deflected away from the goal box, loose on the 18. It's cleared. Southeast Whitfield still working to keep the ball away. Garcia able to make a move and chip this the length of the pitch. Raiders clean shot and a glove save by Christian Sanchez, the junior. Unreal save by Dalton. We've got early action in Dalton, Georgia. 7 minutes and change into this first half, still scoreless between the Raiders and the Catamounts. An unreal sequence between these two programs. Brendan Munoz was feeling the danger as the ball was loose down inside of the goal box, got some help from some teammates. Not only did they help out their keeper, the sophomore, they flipped the script. Christian Sanchez had to make his first save of the night. A really good look. Pena got a hold of the ball, walked it into the 18, rifled a shot between the posts. Sanchez able to make the save, standing strong. Our sheet remains clean between two of the best programs in the state of Georgia, all on DaltonToday.com. If you're just joining us, we'll have all the action tonight, a really good one. Thrilled to have you along for the ride. I'm Gabriel Schrei on the call, and we want to thank our sponsors who have made tonight's broadcast possible. Super D Market, El Ranchero, our friends at Car Aid Auto Collision Center, and a special thanks to your local Keller Williams realtor, Luce Montoya, for making tonight's broadcast on DaltonToday.com possible. Garcia will take the kick. Junior defender. 3 points entering tonight. Plays upfield, up-tempo as a defender. 1 goal, 2 assists. Put that one in a nice spot. Looking for that third assist and couldn't quite get hooked up down on the edge of the goal box. Another dangerous set piece coming for Dalton. The Raiders looking to capitalize. The ball will be delivered by Garcia, the freshman. Lofted to the edge of the goal box, deflected away initially. Raiders maintain possession. Alfaro, now to the close side. Pablo Gonzalez, defended by Gongora, tries to go down into the wing and taken by the Catamounts. Big Red. Torres through traffic. Really well played. The senior all the way up the pitch into the wing, and it escapes the field. A really dangerous look for Dalton. That's the last guy the Raiders want to see streaking with the ball into the wing. Angel Salisis, really great striker for Dalton High School. 9 goals this season, 14 points entering tonight's match. Raiders now have some movement, working their way up the pitch, left off far side and cleared by the Big Red. Played with his heel, his boots able to put that out of play. Raiders going to try again. Throw in, gathered along the edge of the penalty arc. This shot deflected and kept in on the end line by Sanchez. Prep Soccer live on DaltonToday.com. We've got a clean sheet between number 16 and number 42. A top-ranked matchup in the state of Georgia. It's El Clásico. The Raiders have not had an outright win in this match since 2012. Looking to flip the script tonight. Lost 3-0 in their first matchup this season. but in that one missing their 3 top scorers. Of the 33 goals scored this season by Southeast Whitfield County High, 23 of them have come from these 3 strikers they were missing in that first matchup. Well played in traffic by Dalton twice now, and a long feed up the touchline and deflected away by the Raiders. Expert play defensively, giving up his body and preventing a scoring chance. Raiders from the wing on the end line. This is off of the side of the net. Another dramatic sequence. The last regular season match for these seniors of their entire prep career. Playoffs looming for all of these young men. They're going to leave it all on the pitch tonight in El Clásico, the crosstown rivalry matchup. Skying this towards the midfield stripe, a quick header. Sent on side, and there's the offside call. For just a moment, I missed the flag, and I thought he would play that. And a big sigh of relief for no one more than the sophomore Brandon Munoz, who goes to gather the ball behind the end line. Southeast Whitfield County. A kick from the middle of their back third. Alfaro sends this long. Really well delivered, but Christian Sanchez flashes the gloves again. Sanchez, Dalton, all season long, they've been really good on the back. If they do allow scoring chances, they're great at cleaning them up. Statistically, that's obviously very much true. 19 goals allowed, 17 matches played, just over 1 goal per match. They usually outscore opponents by 2.5 goals per match. 55 scored this season. Raiders looking back door. Sanchez will gather this on the edge of the 18. Comes way out to play this one. The script has been a little different for Southeast Whitfield County High. They average 2.25 goals per match. They've scored 33 this season. They outscore opponents by a little less than 1 goal per match. Goal difference of plus 12 this season. They've looked really good. Dalton is kind of like a pressure cooker offensively. They come out, they score a lot more in the second half. They've looked flashy early, though, in the stages of this one against the Raiders. Come down, taking a few really good shots on net. Brandon Munoz has stood his own, the sophomore in net tonight for Southeast Whitfield County High. Chipped deep, and Sanchez will gather from just behind the penalty arc. Dalton High School to Gongora. He's double-teamed and has it stripped away. Gonzalez goes back looking for help from Pablo Gonzalez. Battle for it in traffic. Catamounts have the ball. DHS floating this across the top of the grass. In the center circle and in a bit of danger. Saldana chips this towards the end line, and Munoz lets it go as this one skeeters off of the pitch. Scoreless, 25 minutes to go in our first half between Dalton's Catamounts and the Raiders of Southeast Whitfield, all on DaltonToday.com. Tension building quickly in this one. Great turnout for the crosstown rivalry tonight at Harmon Field. Folks out in force to see this one. Skied up the pitch. Near the midfield stripe, Dalton comes up with it initially. Catamounts working to keep possession. A lot of contact, and a whistle comes. Garcia, the senior defender, coming over the top of Robinho Lopez. The sophomore able to draw the foul. Through traffic taken by Southeast Whitfield. Chipped back to that sophomore keeper, Munoz. Struck off of his boot and now off of the pitch. Chased at by Ivan Rodriguez. Couldn't quite gather it up as escapes play. Southeast Woodfield County taking back over with the ball. Tried to float that in on the throw-in. Southeast trying again. Pablo Gonzalez looking for help, gets the header from Delgado. Kept on the field initially. Dalton gets one helmet on it, now two. Sent back by Garcia. Delgado for a moment. Through traffic. Well played by Gongora. Battle for it. Southeast Woodfield broke it up initially. Dalton has it on the edge of the 18 and now cleared by the Raiders. Expert move in traffic. Played that just right to prevent the scoring chance. Raiders fighting for this on the edge of the pitch. Garcia will throw in. Still scoreless. Nearly halfway through our first half. Skied onto the field. Raiders backside from the penalty arc. A header down into the 18. Ball's loose. Scoring chance. Well struck. It goes wide right. Dalton keeps the sheet clean. Christian Sanchez was there to make the play. Ball was off the mark. Diving into the latest Max Preps poll for the state of Georgia, River Ridge is on top, undefeated this season, 16 wins, 0 losses, 27 points in the Max Preps computer. Johns Creek is second, 15-0-1, 25 points. Third is McIntosh, Hillgrove at fourth, Lambert at fifth. At 16th, it's Dalton, Georgia, 12-3-1 in the latest poll, 19 points for them. Not far out of that top 25, Southeast Woodfield, 42nd. Overall record in the poll of 11-4-1, 15 points in that poll. Climbed 11 positions in the rankings, a recent upswing in their performance. Munoz clears that away. Rattling through the center of the pitch. Dalton regathers. Attacking into the 18, and a sellout save by the Raiders. He gets caught with a whistle. Raiders can't believe it. And an excellent chance now for the Catamounts at home. 21 minutes to play in our first half from Harmon Field. Dalton High, an opportunity to take the lead. Munoz, the sophomore, between the posts. The sophomore, Saldana, the signal, the strike, and it's gloved away by Munoz. The sheet remains clean for now. A great save on an excellent scoring chance for Dalton off of the set piece. We'll see back-to-back as we'll get a corner.
Number 14, Diego Payet.
Saldana again on the set piece, this time from the close corner. Rubinho backdoor, sent inside, rattling through the goal box. Southeast Woodfield deflects it once, sent down into the close wing. Saldana with it and sent off of the pitch by the Raiders. Gonzalez made the big play on that one. Gongora the throw-in. Saldana down by the end line. From the edge of the 18, chipped backdoor, headed away by Southeast Woodfield. Raiders battling to deflect this away, winning the race to the ball. Cleared into the center third of the pitch and chipped all the way down towards Christian Sanchez. Dalton could be in some danger if they can't play this well. Gathered up by Gongora, who makes the defender miss. Southeast Whitfield puts this off. They say they've got the ball. The official agrees. Excellent move. Dalton throwing in, headed back off immediately. Clean sheet in Dalton, Georgia, between the Catamounts and the Raiders. It's El Clasico on DaltonToday.com. Well played initially, lost in traffic. Too many bodies in motion there. Raiders come up with it. Delgado went to Lopez. Lopez, a blown tire. Raiders, the return. Saldana toppling as we get a flag. Catamounts the throw in. The crowd is into this, but play stopped before he can get to work. Matt Cheeves since '94, 30 years as the bench boss for Dalton High School. Strategic expert. They've won state championship after state championship with Harmon Field as their home venue. He's helped along the sideline. Blair Klesbish, Raimundo Bahena, and Francisco Rodriguez, the assistant coaches for Dalton. Miguel Garcia, new name in town, new face. He's done really well at the helm of Southeast Whitfield's Raiders. He's helped by Nick Finney and Tommy Smith on the bench, his assistant coaches this season. Some really great strategic minds on the bench, these two programs. Raiders had an excellent scoring chance. Christian Sanchez, another highlight reel save. Coming out, playing the ball way out of the goal box, and his gamble pays off as he deflects this over the end line. The junior Emmanuel Gonzalez, 2 points this season, 1 goal, 1 assist, has to be feeling good about making that play. The sophomore for the corner kick from the close side. Delgado will deliver this. Box is loaded up. Dangerous spot for Sanchez and the Catamounts as this is blown dead before he can take it. The referee does not like something. He's talking to these guys who are on the edge of the goal box. Players to watch here. Garcia is right out in front of the goal box. On the backside, Aaron Gomez, the sophomore defender. Here's the corner, chipped back door, the header, it sails and goes over the top of the post. Another sigh of relief for Christian Sanchez. So early stages we saw the sophomore Munoz have to stand on his head for Southeast. Now Sanchez has faced a couple of shots in a row, feeling the heat on Harmon Field. 16:20 to go in our first half, a clean sheet and El Clasico. Sanchez skying this one down the pitch. Big header. Raiders want to maintain possession. Taken by Dalton. Moving quickly initially and now sent back. Raiders somehow through traffic, a nifty move, and he goes back but no one there to gather initially. Kept moving by Southeast. Pablo Gonzalez has this stripped away, and now the slide tackle puts it off of the pitch. Very impressed tonight, and every night I've watched Dalton play this season. Cheeves has got these guys where they gather the ball and immediately turn up the field of play. Their communication is effortless. It's like they don't even have to look to see if a teammate is there. Their ability to get things moving, get ahead of steam, and get up the pitch and look for ways to attack the net, really impressive. Southeast Whitfield has been doing one thing especially well since the opening minutes. They struggled at first, but now doing a good job of maintaining possession. Need to clean up the passing just a little bit, but doing a good job of keeping the ball moving the direction they want it to go. Battle for it on the close touch line. Dalton keeps it away. Well played and cleared by the Catamounts. Raiders take it back. Deep in the attacking third, coming to the close wing. Pina can't keep that one on. Slide tackled off of the pitch. A quick throw in. Raiders. Delgado working his way towards the 18. A little keep away as boots come together. This one back to Dalton. 14 minutes to play in our first half. Scoreless from Harmon Field between the Raiders and the Catamounts. Big delivery back towards the center circle. Dalton comes up with it in traffic. Taking a look at the last decade for Southeast Whitfield County, 13 wins, 4 losses last season. That's 76%. But as you go back through the decade, in 2022, 19 wins, 2 losses. 90% of their matches won a state championship. 18-0 in 2021. 2017, 18-3, all state championship seasons. Really unbelievable performance out of this program over the years. And you think, well, it can't get better than that, but you flip the script and you look at Dalton over the last decade, and it's unbelievable. 2023, 2021, 2019, 2015, 2014, 2013. When I said during the pregame these programs have about a dozen state championships in the last decade combined, I wasn't kidding. Raiders a long feed, and that elicits a reaction out of the crowd. He wants the call, he doesn't get it, as Dalton clears it away. The junior, Joseph Pina, gathered that just inside of the penalty arc, goes down hard, and now we get another tackle. This time the call in favor of the Catamounts. Worth noting, if you're local to the area, you're probably very well aware, 2 different classifications here, 4A, 5A, so they won't see each other in the playoffs. This is an annual classic, El Clásico, they call it between these two. A great crosstown matchup, a lot of fun. You better put this on your calendar for next year and be here with us. You don't want to miss this. 12 minutes left to play in our scoreless first half from Harmon Field. We have seen some excellent scoring chances, some really unbelievable saves. Sanchez, the keeper tonight for Dalton. An upperclassman, a junior. He has been flashing his gloves over the last 10 minutes. On the other side, now things have gone silent for the sophomore who is starting. In place of the injured and electric Victor Cordoba, he had posted 6 straight clean sheets before going down to injury. The sophomore Munoz has looked good in his place, won the Smoky Mountain Championship. Looking good tonight on Harmon Field. Skying this over the center of the pitch. Dalton gathers it. Catamounts battling to maintain possession and in some danger. Taken by the Raiders. Looking far side, it's Delgado. Chipped down towards the 18, and it's loose and covered by Sanchez. Well played. Another look up the pitch. One of the best scorers in the state of Georgia right there, the junior. 13 goals this season for Joseph. Couldn't quite gather it up on that look up the field. Taken by the Raiders, and a quick call as boots become tied up. The freshman Lopez went down hard. Ivan Rodriguez, the victim of the whistle for Dalton. The junior defender Garcia skying this into the 18, deflected away initially by the Big Red, regathered, corner, and this one sent over the end line by Dalton High. Heads up play there, good decision. Decides he can't gather the ball and says, I'm just going to get this out of play so we can reset. Now a corner and a set piece coming for Southeast Whitfield. Garcia, the freshman, to take this. The junior Pina, 13 goals this season, standing just off the edge of the goal box. Right between the goal box and the spot on the left side of your screen there. Wearing number 11. Pablo Gonzalez getting a little closer than him to the twine. Sent on, far side, the freshman from the wing into the 18 and tries to send this back door on a chip feed. Instead, it goes into the concessions line. 9:20 to play in our first half. A clean sheet still in Dalton, Georgia from Harmon Field on DaltonToday.com. Some really good soccer going on around the state of Georgia tonight. Gainesville playing host. The Red Elephants looking good. They've been one of the best programs in the state. They've had a really good year in every sport, it seems like. Football, basketball, and now soccer. Another set piece for the Raiders. Chipped right out in front. The header backdoor sails over the goal box. Pablo Gonzalez wants to chase it down and can't reach the ball in time. And a bit of good luck for Santana, the junior defender. Trailing behind the ball. Couldn't quite reach it in time. Rubino Lopez coming off of the pitch. Francisco Torres, the junior midfielder, in his place. Catamounts can't get ahead of steam going. Raiders will take over. 8 minutes to play in our first half in El Clásico. Dalton now stringing together a couple of passes. This one escapes right near the midfield stripe. It rattles off of the pitch over the far side. Prep Soccer, DaltonToday.com. I don't think I'd have predicted exactly how this has gone if I had to sit down with a pen and paper before the match got underway. But you can feel the pressure building, and I certainly thought we'd get a lot of pressure on these two programs tonight, especially as the match goes on. Dalton comes up with it just outside of the wing. Pass down towards the corner. This one escapes over the end line. We've got a player down. Raiders man slow to rise. The referee checking on him. The junior Emmanuel Gonzalez. He'll get a hand back onto his boots and appears to be all right. Hopefully he'll be able to play on. Just over 7 minutes to play in our first half from Harmon Field in Dalton, Georgia, where we're scoreless between the Raiders and the Catamounts of Dalton High School. The kick will come from the goal box. Aaron Gomez, the sophomore, sends this sailing. Can't keep it on the field, looking for Pine on the close side. A throw-in for the Catamounts. Christian Sanchez taking his time. Dalton fighting through traffic. The header, this one escapes over the close chalk line. Out of play into the bench of Big Red. If you look back at the season of these two programs, Dalton's season obviously just unbelievable, super impressive, strength of schedule. A 6-game win streak snapped by Baylor School on Tuesday. They lost 3-2. It dropped their record from 12-3-1 to 12-4-1. But the streak they went on of those 6 wins was unreal. They started that winning streak back on March 12th against Cahulla Creek. We were here for that match at Dalton High School on DaltonToday.com. Won that 3-0, and at the time their record was 6-3-1. They rose to 7 wins, won 6 straight before losing. 12-3-1 their record before losing to Baylor on Tuesday. Obviously Baylor, one of the finest programs in the state of Tennessee, traveled up to Chattanooga Played that on the road. That's a tough matchup for any program. But I just love looking at the schedule of Southeast Whitfield County High's Raiders. You look at it, and it starts with 4 losses to open the season. Back to back to back to back. They snap it on February 16th against Eastside High. They've only lost 1 match since then, unbelievably enough. It's wild to think about. If you were to remove that 1 loss, and it wasn't even a loss, actually. It ended as a draw in regulation. If you get rid of that draw, their win streak would have been 11 games straight entering tonight. You could just call them that. Since February 12th, 11-0-1. 11 wins, 1 draw. Dalton into attacking position, floated to the close wing. Raiders cleared initially, vying for possession over the close touchline. This is what I was talking about a few moments ago, the pressure. If you could score a goal before you go to the locker room, it changes the whole conversation, the whole feeling, the vibe, if you will, as you get together for the halftime break and talk strategy, bust out the whiteboard. If you go in, clean sheet, at the half between these two programs, the pressure is through the roof. The last regular season game of the season, for many of these players, their last regular season game ever wearing these kits. And in such a storied crosstown rivalry between 2 of the best programs you're going to see in the United States, the pressure is certainly on full blast. Just over 3 minutes to play in this first half. Dalton, well played through traffic, taken away by the Raiders. Battling this back and forth, the referee has seen enough. Paez delivered into the close wing, it escapes. Great opportunity for Dalton. Southeast now has a chance to clear the ball away. Inside of 3 minutes in the first half of El Clásico, a clean sheet from Harmon Field. Scoring chances have kind of cooled off over the last 10 minutes. Started off with a volley of shots from the Catamounts. The Raiders responded with a few really good looks of their own. Now things have calmed down. I get the sense that Sanchez and Munoz not playing things the same way. In fact, Sanchez is about 100 feet out of the goal off camera. Raiders in a defensive shell. The throw-in for the Big Red. Played well by Southeast. Back for some help and sent rattling close side off of the field. Inside of 2 minutes to go in this first half. Throw-in. Big Red knifing his way through traffic. Close side. Skying it back door onto the penalty arc. A header. Southeast. Trying to work the ball up the field. Dalton comes up with it from the wing. And the corner of the 18, chipped back door, headed away by Southeast. Big Red, close wing. This one escapes. Southeast will throw in. 80 seconds to play in our first half. Quickly the whistle. Pablo Gonzalez tried to put us back underway. 1:12 to play in our first half and a scoreless draw. Dalton and Southeast duking it out as we wind towards the half. From Harmon Field, DaltonToday.com, Prep Soccer El Clásico, number 12. Really good matchup between these two programs. Raiders are going to burn as much time as they can before sending this ball out. Initially, it was looking like they were going to try and push the tempo, maybe get off another shot. This time they burn clock. They are pushing the tempo from the midfield stripe into the attacking third, sent far side. Dalton high, far touchline. Back and forth, rattling through traffic. Big Red sends this skying away. A quick header. Gathered up by Southeast. Close chalk. 10 seconds to play as this is just chipped towards the penalty arc. Raiders splitting traffic. Dribble, dribble, dribble. A quick shot, and Sanchez covers it up as our first half expires in Dalton, Georgia. A really great first half. Number 16, Dalton. Number 42, Southeast Whitfield County High. Battling it out, DaltonToday.com and El Clásico. We'll take a break with these two programs and be back to see if this scoreless draw will be snapped in our second half of regulation at Harmon Field. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. Harmon Field, Dalton, Georgia. Thrilled to have you with us. It's DaltonToday.com, Prep Soccer, two of the best programs, not only in the state of Georgia, but the entire United States of America. Number 16 in Georgia, number 42. 5A, 4A matchup. It's a crosstown rivalry. El Clásico on DaltonToday.com, all made possible by some great partners. Super D-Market, El Ranchero. A special thanks to our friends at Car Aid Auto Collision Center, and a special thanks to your local Keller Williams Realtor, Luce Montoya. Thank you for making tonight's broadcast possible on DaltonToday.com. Could not be done without you. I'm Gabriel Schrei, bringing you all of the action. Excited to have you along for the ride for this one. A scoreless first half, the clean sheet carried into half two, and the tension certainly building on Harmon Field between the Catamounts and the Raiders. Dalton notorious for coming out scoring explosions in their second half. They did it last time we were here against Cahola Creek. The Colts could not handle the Big Red as they came out of the gate in the second half, scoring 3 to win 3-0. Southeast looking to flip that script tonight on the road. 11-0-1 since February 12th. Catamounts this season 12-4-1. At home 6-2. Southeast Woodfield 11-4-1 overall. Started the season on a 4-game skid. On the road they're 5-1 this season. Southeast Woodfield coming off of a really nice win. Traveled up to Gatlinburg, Tennessee to Rocky Top Sports World. Won the Smoky Mountain Cup. 54 teams visited for that tournament. States including Tennessee, Georgia, Alabama, Oklahoma. Ball rolls over the touchline. Nice move by the Big Red, delivered to the chalk along the sideline, skying this through the center of the field. On the midfield stripe, Raiders have it. Southeast, delivered back, healed by Pablo Gonzalez into traffic. Big Red break that up quickly. Well struck initially. This one escapes. In pursuit, Delgado couldn't get it. Thrown back in right away. Dalton towards the 18. Big Red backside, cut off by Southeast. Loose into the corner. Raiders let it go. Dalton High, a 6-game win streak snapped on the road against one of the best programs you're going to see in the state of Tennessee, the Baylor School. Catamounts 42nd in the nation, 16th in the state of Georgia on maxpreps.com. 55 goals scored this season. From the wing, Big Red just keeping that in play on the sideline. Southeast able to clear it. Great play defensively, mucking it up and getting the ball away. Throw in. Sent back off right away. Pablo Gonzalez left off for Garcia. Garcia floats this from the edge of the 18, can't regather. Paez had a chance to take at that, gather up possession. Backside. Big Red cleared to the far sideline. Along the chalk, fighting for it down towards the midfield stripe. The officials sending this back the other way. Really nice play by Munoz coming out, gloving that. The sophomore flashes his gloves again. He hasn't faced a shot of any quality in quite some time, dating back into that first half. Makes a big save in the early stages of this second half. From Harmon Field, DaltonToday.com. It's El Clásico between Dalton High's Big Red and the Raiders of Southeast Woodfield County High. Gabriel Schrei here, thrilled to have you along for the ride. We've got a clean sheet. We've seen lots of really good scoring chances, a lot of great action. Scoreless to this point. And the pressure is just continuing to grow between these two. They've already met each other once this season. Played back on February 13th. They were at Southeast Woodfield, and Dalton won 3-0. Dalton has won or forced a draw for a decade straight in this, dating back to 2012. Southeast Woodfield, the throw-in, comes over the close line. Trying again. Garcia to the goal box. Big Red sent off. Garcia again. Straight up. Dalton High working to clear the ball. Battle for it from the edge of the 18. Raiders through traffic in the wing. Onto the chalk. He keeps it moving. A nice nutmeg, chipped down inside and covered by Sanchez. Really good play by Christian Sanchez, the junior. Tracks that through traffic, sees what's coming next, able to get on top of that and prevent any scoring chance just 6 minutes into the second half. I mentioned that Dalton won the first matchup between these two 3-0. Entering tonight, Southeast Woodfield has scored 33 goals this season. Really good offensive production. 23 of those goals are from 3 strikers. They were missing all 3 through their first 4 games. They lost all 4 of those games. 11-0-1 since getting all 3 back. They've just been electric. Tonight, a clean sheet. Now well over halfway through this. 33 minutes to play in regulation between these two. From the wing, chipped sailing. Ball will go to the Big Red and Christian Sanchez. The 5A GHSA state championships and playoffs begin Wednesday, April 17th, this coming week. Dalton High obviously qualifying for that. Second round is on the 24th of April, another Wednesday, so 1 week off. The quarterfinals begin on the 29th for 5A. They play on the 30th as well. The semifinals start on the 2nd and run through the 3rd, and the state championships are on Tuesday, May 7th. For a very similar dates, 18th, 25th, 29th, 30th. Here's a chance onside. Big Red, the save by Munoz. Unbelievable. What a play by Dalton High School. Gets in a clean look. Played very well down on the goal box, and the sophomore makes another highlight reel stop. Look at him go for Southeast. Now that is a clutch performance. Brandon Munoz, just a sophomore, stepping in, filling in the shoes of Victor Cordoba, the senior keeper. Started all year long, a huge piece of why Southeast Woodfield was able to flip the script on their 0-4 start. He gets hurt up in the Smoky Mountains in the tournament for the Raiders. They bring in the sophomore. He wins the tournament. He's here in Dalton tonight. An underclassman looking electric playing in El Clásico. Sent off, far side. Raiders looking to keep this moving. We played 10 minutes of our second half. A clean sheet. The scoring chances we have seen have been just electric. And the top is waiting to come off tonight. Both fans, both sides of the stands ready to explode. For many of these young men, their last chance to play in El Clásico, their last regular season match, wearing the kit of their school.
In for the Raiders, number 17, Emmanuel Gonzalez.
Right on cue, an upperclassman, Emmanuel Gonzalez, checking into the match for Southeast Whitfield. 2 points this season, 1 goal, 1 assist. Dalton doing well with that in traffic. Big Red looking to push the tempo. Lost for a moment. Catamounts after this, and the slide draws the whistle from the referee. Brian Delgado trying to get to work. Southeast Whitfield will come away with the football and get to work with it. Kick from just behind the midfield stripe. Skying this towards the 18 of the Big Red. Headed straight up from the penalty arc. Southeast Whitfield goes right side, and Sanchez able to glove this up. Christian Sanchez not facing any threat on that trip up the pitch. Healed in traffic. Dalton has it from the corner of the 18. Left off. Looking for help. Chipped back door. No one there as this one travels over the end line and back to Southeast Whitfield. A lot of danger for the Raiders. Can't afford to let the Catamounts get down in scoring position like that because they will definitely capitalize. Diego Paez, the sophomore, had the ball, working it on the corner of the 18, looking for help, and not sure if there's a miscommunication there or somebody just didn't go where he was expecting, but the ball sails on him out of play. Big Red putting this back into the attacking third. Raiders with it. Southeast Whitfield. Really well played by Frankie Alfaro. Raiders over the midfield stripe. Gathered up by Paez. Close side. Salisis can't get it in the wing. Frankie puts that off, and so now we'll see a throw-in from Salisis. Overhead, just outside of the goal box. Headed away. Big Red with it. Corner of the 18, trying to keep this in play on the far touchline. It's out. Raiders, long throw-in towards the midfield stripe. Big Red coming up with it. Referee has to step aside. Trying this close touchline. Chavarria sent that inside, and the long ball gloved by Munoz. We've played 13 minutes of our second half. It remains a scoreless draw as these two exchanging body blows, going back and forth up the pitch, putting good looks on net. No one has been able to find home yet. The pressure growing, building, the tension in the air. From Harmon Field on DaltonToday.com. Thanks for being with us. Two of the best programs you're going to see in the state of Georgia. Referee quickly blowing this and giving it off to the Big Red. Catamounts. Salvador Martinez. Long ball, chipped down, deep into the 18, a chance, still loose. Munoz pushes it away, and the whistle as he lies outside of the goal box in the 18. The referee waiting to deliver the yellow. There it is, assessed against the Catamounts. The home fans at Harmon not happy about that. Francisco Torres chasing the ball, comes together in a quick moment with Munoz. The referee calls it like he sees it from pitch side. And he assesses the card against Torres. Munoz and Torres both appear to be all right. We've played 55 minutes of soccer. It's a scoreless draw from Harmon Field. A clean sheet remains. Here come the Raiders. Looking to change that. Southeast into the wing, centering feed, deflected away by the Big Red and now cleared up into row G. 25 minutes to play from Harmon Field on DaltonToday.com. Two of the best teams in the state of Georgia. Appreciate you tuning in and being with us tonight. It's the 11-win Southeast Whitfield Raiders. They've won 11 of their last 12. 12-win Dalton High Catamounts. 6-2 at home this season. They've played a very tough schedule. Big collision on the slide tackle we play on. Big Red. Deep in the attacking third. Now from the wing. Boots come together. Ball's loose in the corner. Big Red throwing in. A good chance on this. Salisis to deliver the throw in. Box is loaded. Salisis tosses this right out front of the goal box. Deflected away initially by the Raiders. Regathered on the corner of the 18. Catamounts. Backside. Scoops this up and sends it to the far wing. Dalton High. Chipped back door. This one sails over the end line. I really like the strategy by Dalton. They've got a great way of moving the ball. And a lot of times it's like they're passing it where players should be moving. Whether or not it's a play, they know where guys need to be to score the ball. They're putting it in that position even if no one's there. Delivered by the Raiders to the center circle. Southeast. Through traffic, doesn't last long. Dalton. Sent back to the Raiders. Off the side of the boot. Long feed. Salisis in pursuit, and Southeast clears it. Another nice play by Frankie, the sophomore, keeping that away from Angel Salisis. .23 to play. Salisis to the goal box. The header, and it rustles the twine. Unreal. Dalton High takes the lead 1-0 in El Clásico. What a score. David Saldana, the sophomore midfielder. Perfectly struck. His 9th goal of the season. The Catamounts, the Big Red, out in front 1-0 at Harmon Field against the Raiders of Southeast Whitfield and El Clásico on DaltonToday.com. Now the script takes a drastic change. The Raiders are going to really be pushing the tempo coming out of this. 23 minutes, 28 seconds to play. The referee speaking his piece before we're back underway from Dalton, Georgia. Thanks for being with us. Two really good programs tonight, duking it out. Big Red going to take advantage of the break and go over to the bench, talk to Coach Cheeves.
That goal by the Catamount, scored by number 12, David Saldana.
And you can hear the home crowd go nuts as they confirm the goal by the sophomore, his 9th of the season. There's a look at Chiefs and Big Red gathering up. Catamount's ready to go. Back onto the pitch, they're joined by Southeast. Big thanks for being with us tonight. Thrilled to have you along for the ride. DaltonToday.com, your source for local news, highlights, sports, weather, and more. Visit us, DaltonToday.com. 1-0. Big Red Saldana scored his 9th goal of the season, the 56th goal that Dalton High School has scored this season. Really unbelievable production, averaging about 3 goals per game this year. And suddenly the whole match looks different for Southeast. Delivered to the far chalk. Along the touchline, working towards the 18, through traffic. Dalton looking to clear this. It's loose for a moment. Raiders can't touch this to a teammate as it's cleared away carefully by Big Red. They've got the lead. They can walk out of here happy with a 1-0 win. Southeast Woodfield's Raider Rage would love nothing more than to score a goal in the next 22 minutes. On the center of the pitch, this escapes. Chipped away. Arredondo. Close sideline. It's out into the bench of the Big Red. Looking for Aaron Gomez. Couldn't hook up with the sophomore. And now the Big Red sent off again by Gomez. Salisis skying this up the field. Loose from the edge of the 18, deflected away by the Raiders, chipped backside, Southeast clears it. Dalton High regathered, still down on the edge of the attacking third. Martinez all the way back. Santana sailing into the far wing. Pablo Gonzalez battling for it down in the corner. It goes off of the pitch. Southeast Raiders, a sigh of relief. Dalton bringing the heat again just a couple of minutes after scoring the lone goal we've seen tonight. It was the 9th of the season for David Saldana, a sophomore midfielder. Really well played off of a throw-in. Headed it perfectly over the top of the sophomore keeper, rustling the twine and giving the Catamounts the lead at home in El Clásico. Slide tackle. 2 players come together. Raiders come up with it. Chipped down towards the 18 and now cleared by the Big Red. Referee looks a little fired up. Garcia, the freshman, was working with the ball, trying to carry that down into the wing. We'll see the kick from just a few beyond the 18. Well struck, chipped backside, the header, it's still loose. This will go over the end line. Both programs say they've got the ball. We'll see a corner now, another set piece for the Raiders. This is exactly the situation you want to be in. You're trailing 1-0. Miguel Garcia has to be thrilled about this. These are the kind of chances you need late if you want to find a way to tie this up, put yourself in position to win this one on the road at Harmon. Delgado in the corner for Southeast Woodfield. Standing just in front of him, Garcia. 2 players on the edge of the goal box. Streaking inside is Garcia. Here's the delivery through the goal box, cleared out of the 18, regathered by Southeast. Chipped backside, This one headered, and Sanchez able to come down on top of the ball as the referee sounds his whistle. Well played again by Dalton as bodies collide on the edge of the goal box. Christian Sanchez still with a clean sheet. We played 60 minutes at Harmon Field. Big Red can't keep it rolling in their direction initially. Hernandez had it, now gathered by Frankie. Midfield stripe, taken at by Gomez and sent off. Paez, the sophomore, last to touch the ball. Now we'll see Aaron Gomez. Prep Soccer, DaltonToday.com. Two of the best programs in the state of Georgia. El Clásico, the crosstown rivalry. 1-0 Dalton High leading. 18 and a half left to go on the clock. We played 60 minutes and change from Harmon Field. The story of the match has evolved, and now it's come down into a situation where Southeast Whitfield really needs a goal. Taken at from the edge of the 18. If you want to look at the other side of that same sheet of paper, though, that story is written on, the Catamounts are looking for a put-away goal. A score here puts this one on the absolute top shelf where Grantland keeps the cookies. It's going to be hard to reach. From the far touchline, battling for it, near the penalty spot, this rolls over the end line. Well played. That one rattles all through traffic off of boots, and a sigh of relief for the sophomore Munoz as it escapes. Such a young guy. Garcia and the staff, the fans, have to be so happy with how well Brandon Munoz has played against the Big Red tonight. 56 goals this season. They've been a scoring machine. To hold them to 1 on their home Harmon Field, really impressive work by somebody who's an underclassman. A bright future for him between those posts. There he goes again, coming out, gathering that up. Munoz drop kicking this. A moonshot to the center field stripe. Raiders. Gomez has it sent right back. Big Red creating a dangerous situation. Well played. Flipped off the top of the boot. Catamounts all the way back. Dalton High School, Santana. From the close touch line, a long delivery. Salisis has this taken away initially. Regathered back to Angel Salisis. He's all alone. And the offside whistle from the official. Unreal. What a chance it would have been for Angel Salisis. We've got a Raider slow to rise. Hopefully he's all right. One guy that's been a key contributor tonight in a quiet way, somebody that Coach Miguel Garcia had nothing but positive things to say about, a senior forward, Ismael Pimentel. Really good athlete. One of a number of players that I've mentioned, the 3 strikers that were out. Missed the game against the Catamounts the first time out at Southeast Whitfield due to an injury. He came back from a really bad injury his sophomore year and has battled his way onto the pitch, slowly worked himself up to playing. Coach Garcia told me just before the start of the match tonight, just before kickoff, I don't have enough words to commend everything this kid is doing after all he has gone through the past couple of years. Very high praise from a very successful coach. It takes a moment, but things are sorted. Now sent skying down the pitch. Raiders. Over the penalty arc, Sanchez falls onto the ball. Not a great chance for the freshman Garcia. Does get the ball through traffic, but nowhere near able to get a boot onto it. In the wing. Raiders scoop this up. Back out, edge of the 18. Dalton to the penalty arc. Well struck, and it's deflected away by Southeast Whitfield. That could have been the put-away goal with 15 and a half to play at Harmon. Sanchez comes way out for the ball on the edge of the 18. Prep Soccer, DaltonToday.com, 1-0 Big Red. Catamounts battling it. Lots of contact and traffic sent far side. Diaz all the way up the pitch. Pena had it for just a moment. Pena's the guy to watch in this situation. 13 goals this season. A deadly striker for Southeast Whitfield County High. He was loud for portions of that first half. Somebody who's been kind of playing off the ball, not a ton of touches down on the edge of the 18. He's wearing number 11. Right now he's on your screen, wearing the white left side top. Someone you're going to watch as we go down the stretch. Christian Sanchez wants to make sure there's nothing to watch coming out of him as he skies this one. Over the midfield stripe, Raiders send it back in the right direction for them. Catamounts now have it moving down into the attacking third. Big Red played into the wing, and he can't win the foot race to the ball as it escapes down on the edge of the corner. Jared Perez, junior midfielder, no points this season, was bringing the heat on that trip down the field. Throw in for Southeast, headed into the 18, ball's loose for a moment. Well played, healed back for help from Garcia. Garcia, wow, makes 3 defenders miss, and a 4th strips the ball away. Close sideline, floated to the 18, Salisis is after it and it's cleared. Chris Diaz, the freshman, sends that one out of play. Dalton High School now again in prime position with 13 minutes to play, leading 1-0. Sent on, a lot of contact, and immediately the whistle. Paez and Garcia came together, legs tangled, boots tangled. They're replaced by a man who's already scored tonight. 9 goals this season for David Saldana, the sophomore. Alongside him is Ivan Rodriguez, the senior forward. He's got 4 goals, 8 total points. Referee sending him back, having him step off. Saldana 12, Rodriguez 9. Box is loaded up. He has the signal. Saldana chips it right through traffic, and Munoz makes a diving save. Ball loose in the wing and sent off. Looks like it was maybe last touched by Dalton. It was. 12:20 to play in regulation, 1-0. Big Red lead from Harmon Field. Garcia kept this rolling. 1 boot, now 2. Trying to go back into the attacking third. Garcia goes down hard and grabs at his face as we'll see a card. Referee says his piece. Romeo Chavarria. He'll come off. 12 minutes to play in regulation from Harmon Field, where it's 1-0 Dalton High School. We have seen an electric 68 minutes. Skying this well delivered, and a huge collision leaves a man in a red kit down on the grass. I don't know who maintains this turf grass field, but what a beautiful field this is. Commented on it before the match, and I just got to give props to whoever that is. Good job. It looks fantastic. Really good turf grass management skills. A rocket down the pitch. Coming close side. Players tangled up, and Garcia hit with a whistle. And we'll see another card. There it is. The referee sending him off. The kick will come from just in front of the Raiders bench, delivered by Saldana, who scored the only goal we've seen tonight, his 9th of the season. Ball is tipped to him by Mendez. Saldana through traffic and sent straight up into the air by the Raiders. Let go in the wing. Paez will throw in. Into the 18, looking for help, down on the end line in trouble. 2 defenders, beats them both out, passed out onto the edge of the goal box and cleared by Southeast. Regathered by Dalton. Well struck left side, just wide. Munoz diving and reaching. It remains 1-0 at Harmon Field, 10:40 to play. What a great shot there. Ivan Rodriguez would do anything to have that back. He's got 8 points this season, 4 assists, 4 goals already. Almost had his 5th goal. Really well placed. Hard to call from the booth if that was inside of the post. Would Munoz have been able to save that? Hard to tell. Tons of contact on the center circle as we close in on our final 10 minutes of regulation at Harmon Field. 2 of the best programs in the state of Georgia, 2 of the best in the nation playing tonight at Harmon Field. Dalton High's Catamounts playing host to the Southeast Whitfield Raiders, who are 11-0-1, dating back to their first win of the season on February 16th. Snapped a 4-game skid. They haven't lost since. Dalton High, a 6-game winning streak snapped to the impressive Baylor School Raiders up in Chattanooga, Tennessee on Tuesday. Prior to that loss, they had won every match dating back to March 12th when they beat Cahulla Creek here at Harmon Field 3-0. At the time, it improved their record to 7-3-1. They were 12-3-1 until Tuesday. Raiders had a chance, a huge slide tackle. We play on. Southeast trying to regather in traffic, and now the referee stopping things. There was a moment where that was looking very favorable for the leading scorer on the pitch tonight, Pena. The junior gathered it up, got to work. Pena, 13 of the 33 goals scored this season by Southeast Whitfield High's Raiders. The slide tackle on him, absolutely colossal. He goes end over end to the turf grass. Sanchez just in time, booting that. Rocketing down the field. Dalton winning the foot race. Big Red into the 18. Scoring chance. Chip back door. No one's there as it rolls over the end line. 1-0 remains the score line at Harmon. Now inside of 10 minutes. The lid's off the pressure cooker. It's turning up. It's getting hot down on Harmon Field as these two letting it all hang out. Their final regular season match as the playoffs loom in the state of Georgia. Just over 8 minutes to play. From the edge of the goal box. Nice arc on that, gathered just outside of the wing. Chavarria, given off, Penalty arc, well struck, deflected away, second chance goes up into the netting. Another good look, floated back to Ivan Rodriguez. Dalton High's Catamounts capitalizing on possession down in the attacking third, looking for that put-away goal as we see thrilling shot after thrilling shot on Harmon Field. 7:27 to go in regulation, 1-0, Big Red lead. And thank you for being with us. If you're just joining us, final stages of El Clásico from Dalton High School's Harmon Field. Here come the Big Red again. On the penalty arc, it's taken up by Southeast and cleared. Good heads-up play. An electric movement by Dalton to get that onside. Good scoring chance. A big-time save and stop, preventing that scoring chance from coming to fruition by Isaac Vasquez, the junior. Chavarria, the throw-in. Romeo's ball sent back off, up into row H. 6.5 to play, 1-0 Dalton. Big Red, the throw-in to the edge of the goal box. The header on top. Big save by Munoz again. Through traffic, Garcia somehow comes up with this. Backside, cleared by Dalton. Perfectly placed, Southeast. Big Red keeping the Raiders from getting anything going. 5:50 to play from Harmon. Dalton High throwing in. Catamounts leading 1-0. They've got to play out 5 minutes and 20 seconds to end their regular season with a win. The playoffs await these two. Southeast Woodfield, their last three, one of them their only non-win of the season since February 12th. They played to a draw against Edmond North on April 4th, one against Grissom back on the 5th, one against Greenville 6-1 on the 6th. They've looked really good down the stretch. Coming up for them, the 4A GHSA soccer playoffs first round. That's April 18th. Dalton High, the 5A GHSA soccer playoffs await them on the 17th. So we'll see a set piece for the Big Red. They lead 1-0. A goal here would be a put-away goal. 4:40 to play at Harmon Field. Boxes loaded, sent out to the edge of the 18, left off. What a brilliant move. Couldn't get it through traffic. Big Red let this go. 4:20. Angel Salisis, the senior forward. From the edge of the goal box, Raiders send this skying out into the attacking third of the Big Red, and it's gathered by Munoz on a winding shot. The sophomore drop kicks this. Satellite ball sent back by Dalton. Off of the field, a couple of changes coming. Raiders sending Isaac Lopez into the match in place of Isaac Vasquez. The throw-in by Jonathan Garcia. Jairo Garcia, the freshman, looked to keep things moving, couldn't initially. A header, Dalton clears. Stopped near the middle of the pitch. Sent skying back, 3:15 on the clock, 1-0 Big Red. Off the top of the chain link into the first row. An attack from the side. Oh, well played. Into the wing. Looking for help down on the end line. The slide tackle sends it off. 2:47 on the clock. He's slow to rise. Throw in for Dalton. Catamounts in the corner. DHS sent back off. Ivan Rodriguez. 1-0 Dalton High, Big Red lead at Harmon Field at home, looking to wrap up a win in El Clásico and the final regular season match of the year for these two programs. Southeast Woodfield, the Raiders, they're back against the wall. Referees sending off a shaken up Brian Delgado, the sophomore. In his place, Monteroso. The throw in for Dalton. Big Red, the header is off the mark. Ball's loose. Southeast regathers and sends it rolling towards the center circle. Southeast Garcia to the far side of the center circle. This one straight up. Dalton High regathered and chipped through the air. Catamounts have this taken away and sent off. Well played by Jonathan Garcia, the junior defender. 1:40 to go at Harmon Field. Dalton High just 90 seconds away from walking away with another victory in El Clásico. Throw in, header back. Garcia in traffic. Wow, well kept on his boots. The long delivery is just off the mark. A brilliant play inside of 1 minute to go. Chipped back down towards the 18. Sanchez falls on this. And he's going to go ahead and take as much time as he can to send this ball back into play. 45 seconds as he drop kicks this one. Southeast taken away by Dalton. And quickly blown dead by the referee. 25 seconds. Raiders. The bench of Southeast not happy about clock management. 10 seconds to play. Long ball by the Raiders to the edge of the 18. The header onto the penalty arc, cleared by the Big Red. They've won El Clásico to wrap up the 2024 regular season. The GHSA playoffs await these two fantastic programs. What an excellent match on Harmon Field. Nothing to feel bad about today for either one of these programs. Played their hearts out. Some electric saves from both keepers. Some great scoring chances. Both played their strategy perfectly down to the very end. Dalton High's Big Red come away with a nice win on DaltonToday.com today. The only goal in today's match scored in excellent fashion by the sophomore midfielder David Saldana. It was his 9th goal of the season. Wraps up his regular season with an impressive 19 points. Looked really good all year long for Dalton. What's coming next for these programs? Dalton High Catamounts end their season on a win. Won 7 of their last 8 matches. They play in the 5A GHSA soccer playoffs first round. It starts on April 17th. And the same goes for Southeast Woodfield High's Raiders. What an end to the season. They started on a 4-game skid. They go 11-1-1, just losing their final match. Really unbelievable. Won almost every match from February 16th on. They move on to the 4A GHSA soccer playoffs. They start on Wednesday, April 18th. Really good action coming for both of these two in the playoffs, and wishing them the best of luck from all of us at DaltonToday.com. Before we let you go, a big thanks to everybody who made today's broadcast possible. Super D Market, El Ranchero, our friends at Car Aid Auto Collision Center, and a special thanks to your local Keller Williams realtor, Luz Montoya. Thank you for making today's broadcast possible for our community and DaltonToday.com. Very much appreciated. For Big Red, for the Raiders, I'm Gabriel Schrei. A 1-0 victory for Dalton High School on DaltonToday.com. All broadcasts, all events airing live on our network are copyright material and cannot be redistributed or reused without written permission of DaltonToday.com. Thank you for tuning in, and have a wonderful night, everybody.